I know it seems longer some days, Dr. John, but I walked in this place just about 7 years ago. Gosh, that's why we're so tired. All right. When I walked into United Congregational Church, I didn't know much, except that God was calling me to a great adventure. I didn't know what it would look like or what the details would be, but I knew, because of where United sits and the challenges it faced, I suspected it would not be church as usual. In fact, when I talked to my friends, my colleagues, and they're like, oh, the tired little quiet church, I was like, okay, come down here on a Wednesday, and it's like a beehive. Eric and I have said many days, well, we prayed for a busy place. Maybe we should have stopped while we were ahead. But no, it's not church as usual, and I was right. As nitty-gritty as this ministry setting is, as challenging as reviving an urban church is proving to be, you all have spoiled me for any other congregation. I would be bored out of my mind. I love this church. I love these people. And I relish the thought of what the future can hold if we have the courage. Now, over the course of these 7 years, we had vision, a lot of hard work, dedication, good people, generous people, and we had to list a little blind luck. An evolution has taken place. United is now leading the way in urban renewal. We are one of the only urban churches still around in Connecticut. Now let's consider our journey for just a minute. We've had a growth in mission, loaves and fishes, a farmer's market, our youth mission trips that nobody said we could do, and we did. And this winter, we kept 400 souls in 19 nights sheltered from the freezing cold. We've had growth in membership and attendance. When I walked in here 7 years ago, we were lucky if we had 90 in the pews. Now we average about 150, give or take, whether it's a vacation week. I mean, we missed all you people while you were cruising around the world. Poor George claimed his pew again. Y'all, you know. We have a growth in giving. Now, do y'all listen to this? We always talk about how poor we are. That's nonsense. You gave $178,000 in offerings and pledges last year. That ain't bad. Now, you can do better, but that ain't bad. That does not count Steeple or our trip to Haiti. We did those too. We have reclaimed our status in the community. Council churches and the Tent of Abraham. Our work as the chaplain at UB. And you all don't know this, I haven't told any of y'all, the downtown business group came to us, but how to work with the folks that are homeless in downtown by McClevey Green, because they thought we could help. And I got them to quit calling them panhandlers, instead set up a system where we can help people who need money and services get where they need to go. They came to us. We have continued our tradition of great music. You heard it today. Whoa! No other place has that, trust me. And we're developing, if you could see the cherubs yesterday, they were down here singing at Reverend Tracy's service. We're developing their faith. And we've given them a corner to say they belong. Think about all of our meaningful ministries. Our senior care, we're getting ready to have another luncheon. Oh my gosh, they're fabulous. We visit the folks who can't get here. We have our soul sisters who, when you get those people, whoo, they got power. We have men's gatherings, although the women crash them, but okay, we try. We have our 22-plus dinner church, our college connection, our hospitality team, our spiritual seekers, which is just this wonderful small group ministry, our giving tree. We have youth. And yes, we lost a bunch last year. We're still going. We're taking care of the ones we have. We have Sunday school. We have our transportation ministry, our sacred conversations on race and religion. We have wine and cheese because we just need to. We take care of flowers. We take care of those things, and then they get delivered to somebody that needs them. Thank you, Leslie. Our serve shop, our media and marketing. How many people we got on Facebook now, Missy? Almost 400 people know what we do and like us. We have created our own not-for-profit in the Norma Freeman Urban Outreach Initiative. Tracy will tell you these again, but 90,000 meals went out of here in our food pantry. I can't even eat all that. 8,700 hot meals downstairs at our Field of Warmth, and we got our youth working down there making sure it happens, right, MA? Right? ESL and Project Learn and the Feast and the Gardens, and then Lynn Hudler takes care of 2,000 volunteers, and our board has created 43 community collaborations. We're hanging out with the big boys now. We're tackling a great deal of our deferred maintenance in our building, particularly that thing up top that we did not think we could do, we did. Thank you, Mary Jane. We're becoming a commercially licensed kitchen. We're the envy of the neighborhood, but we're also going to start our shared kitchen use that will bring in revenue, but also give people that are trying to start a little business. It's called economic development, and we're going to help lead the way. We're the first kitchen that signed up. How cool is that? They're going to make donuts downstairs. There is nothing but good about that. Yeah. We have our Hope Thrift Shop proposal. It's going to open next to Family Justice or the Council of Churches. Little ones making noise. Hallelujah. I love children's noises. Can you remember when we didn't have any? Right? We're multicultural. We're multiracial. Some of us don't even know who we are anymore, where we came from. We're socioeconomically diverse. We got leaders of the city sitting in the pews alongside the neighbors we serve. That's the kingdom of God. We come from Bridgeport and every surrounding town, sometimes New York, sometimes New Haven. We have all those ministries for the different groups. You see, we know our purpose. We know why we're here. We're going to be a beacon of hope. And we bear witness that God is up to something on the corner of Park and State. Now, at our steeple dedication last June, old Liz Dunn, cancer survivor, and frankly, she's a general truth teller. She leaned in and she asked, "Okay, Reverend Sara, what's next?" I've been doing a lot of thinking about that. What is next? What is God calling United to do and be the next 7 years? Because you're not getting rid of me. You're stuck. The parable of the sower is all about our church. In fact, they wrote it particularly for us. What type of soil are we going to be? What type of seed are we going to be? It takes both. And other church leaders and staff have dreamed along with me. We had a What's Next team. And we said, what do we need to do and to be to share the love of God that we understand is so huge and so big that will include and embrace everyone? You got a tattoo? Come on in. If you think that's really weird, come on in. Old, young, gay, straight, purple, Democrat, Republican, or maybe just confused. Come on in. Rich, poor. How are we going to touch people that have been hurt by the wider church? We're going to call them the excluded. How do we reach people that have given up on God and Christianity? The nuns. No, the duns. I can't get that out. The duns. They're done with church. How do we reach them? Or what about those who don't know anything about God? Those are the nuns. That's the biggest checked thing in the Pew Research are the nuns. Now I want to share something with you that came from the Christian Century, because we've also been studying about what is happening in the United States to God's church. Now, friends, this is hard. But we must face where we are, or we will cease to be who we are. This is from the editor's desk, John Buchanan. He's a well-respected churchman, and he writes this. In this issue, Ms. Nada makes the startling announcement that 9 U.S. churches close their doors for good almost every day. Those who are left in once thriving congregations love their church deeply and have important lifelong memories. They often believe if they just simply hang on, the good old days will come. She says the 3 criteria for judging whether a church will make it: viability, a critical mass of ministry, and vision. She reports that the churches who choose not to make difficult decisions will close. And he writes, there's a monumental amount of hand-wringing and blaming that goes along with this. But I'm convinced, he writes, that if our energy could be better spent on dealing honestly with the realities we face, we're holding on to a model of church that doesn't work everywhere for everybody anymore. He said, okay, many congregations are going to require courageous thinking if they are to survive. New thinking on the part of the leaders, pastors brave enough to walk into these challenging situations, and people in the pews willing to let go of a church model that no longer works. So what models do work? What would work for us? What are those trends? 45% of people in the United States says the church is irrelevant. Have they been here? We're not irrelevant, but we're challenged. What are we going to do about that? How can United avoid becoming a historical statistic? A museum. How can United be part of the second reformation of God's church? We must honestly face realities. We use our endowment too much. We give God thanks for the people in the 40s and 50s and 60s that gave it. Thank God they loved this place so much that they gave huge amounts of money that collectively we live on today. Well, friends, that's got to stop. We don't have much left. And I'm just telling the truth, okay? We take $250,000 and more out of it each year. We've got a little over $1 million left. Add it up. Now, we're not bereft of hope, though. We're not out of options. We are not out of assets. We just have to be willing to adapt, to do some hard things. And yes, we have to be willing to change. The 5-letter, wait a minute, how many? 6-letter word in the church. What type of soil are we going to be? What type of seed will we sow? Let's look at our assets for a minute. We have an active, vital congregation. If we didn't have that, give it up. But we have it. We have us. We have you. You got me. You got her. You got him. The best her is him you're ever going to find. We have this magnificent church building. It's an asset. We have our parsonage. It's an asset. We have our endowment. It's an asset. We're not poor. We just have to figure out how to marshal our assets to secure our future. How do we use what we have? How do we use all the gifts God's given us? We have all the tools we need to have a future with hope. We just have to have the will. What type of soil? What type of seed? We have to think outside our little church box. We have to stop wringing our hands and start imagining, what can we do? How can we do church different? We will need to be bold. We will need to be smart. If we want to be God's church of the future, we have to be willing to let go of what does not work and embrace something bold and exciting that will work. I believe United is poised for a future with hope. We must get busy now. We must start the journey now. We must get our soil and our seed ready now. We have the Spirit, we have the people, we have the assets, we have the mission. Will we have the courage? Will we have the courage? My prayer is that we will.